let's be honest, it wasn't a spectacle yesterday. It was kind of, the way I look at it, it was like pretty much defence against attack yesterday. Watford played with pretty much 2 banks of 4, parked the bus, a very much an extremely low block, made it very hard for Spurs to break them down, and Spurs had like 70% possession or something yesterday, and we just found it so hard to break them down, found it so hard to create chances yesterday. They were letting Emerson and Reguilon get the ball no problems, and Emerson and Reguilon were struggling to get good crosses in the box. I mean, I heard in the first half we made 29 crosses. 29 crosses in the first half, which was predominantly from Emerson and Reguilon. And their quality yesterday was so bad, wasn't it?
It really, really was. Emerson had all the time and possession in the world. We've said it before, you and me on this show, and a lot of the Spurs community. Emerson needs to work on that crossing ability. He really, really does. And I think Ariane said it on the fan show yesterday. I don't think we were expecting the low block, because Watford have just gone out and gone guns blazing. Yeah. And all of a sudden against us, that they completely changed tactics, which I think threw us off a bit. But yeah, they were very, very well organised. But going back to Reguilon's crossing is normally good, but he's not crossing as much as he used to when he first came. Whereas Emerson is crossing all the time, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can have so many crosses and just no chances whatsoever. No chances. I mean, can you imagine if we had someone that can cross the ball on the right wing yesterday? Like, let's say, for argument's sake, you had a Trent playing there yesterday. We'd have won like 6-0 yesterday.
Oh, easy. Even if you go back and say we had a Kieran Trippier.
Yeah. We'd have won 2-3-0.
Exactly. I mean, I'm by no means comparing Trippier to Trent Alexander. To me, Trent Alexander-Arnold is easily the best right back in the world. And if we could take any player from Liverpool, I say it's always him every single time, even over Salah. I love him. But yeah, Emerson needs to work on this. You can see Conte comment on it, couldn't you? You can see he's not happy with that, but it'll something we work on.
Yeah, definitely. But when you were sitting here yesterday for the game, I mean, what were your feelings throughout the game? I mean, in terms of Antonio Conte's starting lineup, did you think he got it right? The system he played, do you think he got it right?
Starting lineup, when I was doing it with Simeon on New Year's Eve, the one position we thought was maybe wings for Højbjerg. But when you saw it, you can't argue with that team. We played very well against Palace, and I reckon that is, at the moment, his preferred 11, let's say. I think that is if he could, that would be the 11 he'd play for all the important games in Premier League. And I felt fine with it, because I honestly thought Watford were going to come out and attack, and that team would dismantle them. But the further and further it went on, you could see that wasn't going to happen. You and me discussed it before, and I said again with the substitutions, but you thought they were a little bit late. And when I look back on it, I agree with you. But they turned out to be right. And again, Harry Winks came on. And it's from that moment. I mean, he started moving the ball forward a lot quicker. We started getting a bit more momentum. And he only came on and had a cameo, but it was a bloody good cameo at that.
It was. Do you think he's playing his way into the starting 11 now, Winks?
I think he's a serious candidate.
And who would he take his place off, Skip or Højbjerg?
Listen, Højbjerg I love. He needs a rest, though. We can't keep doing it. I mean, he has played non-stop football for God knows how long now, and he needs a rest. He needs a rest. I think it will be for him, but I think the great thing with this is, like we say with Romero coming back, it's competition. And it gives Conte. Well, beforehand we would have said, before the Liverpool game, we said, "Oh no, we've made the team weaker because Winks in there," whereas now I don't think we are.
Yeah. I think it's definitely seeing more options all over the pitch. In terms of our kind of attacking line yesterday, Moura, Son, Kane. Out of the three, I'd probably say Kane had the best performance out of the three. Lucas, I think he was peppering them. He looked a bit dangerous, but still, probably didn't he reach the heights of what he has done in the past couple of games. Sonny worrying a little bit. I think he was probably the worst out of the three, but funnily enough, he was the one that produced the moments out of the three as well.
Yep.
Because he was the one that had that really good chance at the end with that beautiful, actually, ball from Lucas Moura over the top into Sonny, and keeper made a really good save, and then he was the one that put in that inch perfect cross, didn't he, for Davinson?
Yep. I mean, let's break that. So Kane had a very good game. You really can see he's going back to, or getting back to the standard that we've become accustomed to. Lucas kind of tried to do what he was doing against Palace, but Watford were a lot more organised. You can see Lucas would always try, but Watford were very resilient in what they were doing. Now, I'm happy we're talking about human Son because now I get to kind of explain myself because a few people in the comments and on YouTube in the chat seem to think that I'm anti-Son, which I'm totally...
To be honest, people say that about me and Sim time and time again, but we love Sonny. We absolutely adore Sonny.
Exactly. We absolutely love it. He has set himself such high standards, and believe me when I say he has got so much credit in the bank. It's like but just because we idolise him and adore him like we do Kane, doesn't mean he's exempt from criticism.
Yeah.
Does not mean he's exempt from criticism. His first touch hasn't been right, whether it's the formation he's in, it's not his preferred, he's getting used to the position, whether it's he's being overplayed. That's what it is. We all know what Sonny can do and what Sonny's capable of, and he will get there again. But the cross was fantastic. I likened it to. Do you remember the goal Harry Kane scored against Southampton to break his Shearer's goals in the calendar year?
Who was that against?
Southampton on Boxing Day.
Oh yeah.
When he scored
that
kind of whipped in cross by Ericsson and then the head right. It's basically a carbon copy of that goal with the way it was scored. And Son delivered there. That's what world-class players do. They deliver in the moments, but his general play is not as sharp as it has been and what we're accustomed to. But it doesn't mean I don't love him. I love him. I idolise him, and he will come back. But obviously, he isn't at the form that we're used to.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But the thing is with Sonny, however... What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that, if he lacks quality in the certain moments, like with his first touch, with stuff like you're saying right now, the guy has got so much quality about him that he can just pop up with a moment at any time.
Yep.
So even if he's having a poor game like that, he wouldn't be one to come off for me because he can just produce a moment at any time. That corner, that cross for Davinson Sanchez was literally pinpoint, wasn't it? And he was probably the only one on the pitch that was going to do that.
Yeah, that I agree with completely. And again, it goes down to the point again that this is why we need reinforcements. So when Sonny is playing too much and certain games where we feel he could take a rest, we're just unable to. We're just unable to give him that opportunity and to just give him like a night off and say, listen, just relax and go home and do what you want to do or just be on the sub bench or in the stadium, just to give his body a bit of a rest is going to be beneficial. But we need reinforcements. Yeah,
I always feel for Sonny a bit when we're playing against a team that sits so deep and basically just put every single man, like their midfield was pretty sitting on the edge of their area, and their defence was literally in the middle of their area. So I mean, Sonny, he's a guy who loves the space in behind. He loves space in behind. That's where he thrives. Yesterday was more to like Lucas Moura's forte, right? Where Lucas Moura likes to get ball to feet and beat a few men. So yesterday was pretty much more a game made for Lucas than made for Sonny. So whenever we play a team with low block, I always feel Sonny lacks a bit.
Well, you saw, I mean, against Liverpool, he was everywhere. And that's because it was two open brands of football going at it. And Watford, I mean, I will say one thing. If I've got to say anything about Watford, you had to admire how disciplined they were and how organised they were.
Sissoko had a really good game.
Yeah, how ironic that he put it on for this. But that's what Watford did. And obviously, Watford have come in for some thumpings and it's not looking good for them at the moment. But they were very resolute and very hard to break down. So you've got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, I don't think we were ready for that because you've seen against other teams that they've played, like a Man City and stuff like that, they didn't sit back. They went for it. And they've seen if they go for it against a good side, they're going to get their asses handed to them. And Ranieri saw that and he went up against the Spurs team and a good way to stop this Spurs team is sitting in a low block. Because we find it so hard to break these teams down. Time and time again, we see it. And it was no different. It was no different yesterday. Just luckily, we found that goal right at the end. And it was very lucky, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It really was. It's the epitome of a smash and grab. It really, really was. Where we were all thinking, oh no, these are definitely 2 points dropped, like Southampton, it really would have... set Spurs fans off being, oh my God, here we go, the normal Spurs have resumed. But we stuck in, we dug in, we got the result done. It's now looking, I mean, if Liverpool could do a number on Chelsea today, I think we're level on points with them, or a couple of points away from them.
Right.
I think we're quite, I don't know if we're level actually, I can't remember.
Today, Liverpool-Chelsea?
Liverpool-Chelsea is today.
So they're second on 42.
And we're
6th on 33.
Okay, so I don't know what I was talking about there.
But we're 2 games behind them.
Yeah.
Now. We'll be 3 after today.
Yeah, and then we've got them in the league as well coming up as well, haven't we?
Away, yeah.
So we can certainly pick up on them. It might be maybe Liverpool is who I was talking about, but yeah, that Champions League position is looking more and more gettable now.
Definitely. In terms of Spurs away, our away form, does yesterday just, magnify that even more?
It does magnify it in an extent that obviously we had to just grit out a performance and get it done. Obviously after Southampton as well, but we've got that monkey off our back. It's time will tell now, and I think this smash and grab boosts the confidence big time going into Chelsea.
Yeah.
Going into Chelsea, it's huge. I think if we hadn't got a result against Chelsea, this away hoodoo might have been on their mind. But now they know they've done it. They've got that away victory. We stay undefeated under Conte in the Premier League, and long may that continue.
Well, we stay unbeaten anyway. We don't put the Muri game into it because they chucked us out that tournament anyway.
Oh, that's true. Null and void.
So it's null and void, exactly. But the way I look at it is that, yeah, we got over the line yesterday in the 96th minute, but against a Watford side, you really expect to be showing more dominance. Yes, we did control the game for 90 minutes. Yes, we did. But we didn't create enough chances, in my opinion. And look, we got the win, fine. But when you're going to come up against better sides, I'm a bit worried about us going away from home. And I think Wednesday night is going to be big for us. Yep. If we can get the result on Wednesday night, then I think we've got the monkey off our back. But right now, against that Watford side, we struggled to get through it. But we did get through it, so fair enough. You've got to give credit to the team in that sense. But I just don't think the performance was good enough yesterday.
By no means was that a good performance, or can they leave the grass saying, yeah, that was a fantastic performance, we did what we came to do. But Chelsea is, like I said, Chelsea is massive. Chelsea is massive. It always is a big game. Then you have the Conte factor. The semi-final, it's going to be huge. And you've got to remember, Chelsea are not in a good place right now. They are not as a team, and then Lukaku, so...
He's out the squad today.
Yeah.
I heard it on the radio on the way in.
So, obviously the repercussions of that, God knows what damage it's done to the rest of the team and the confidence in there. So, I think it's a great time to play Chelsea.
You backing us?
Yes. Yes. My first game at Stamford Bridge, so I'm praying it's a good one.
Yeah, me too. And last but not least, let's talk about Harry Kane yesterday, because I thought he had a really good game. I gave him my man in the match yesterday. In reflection, maybe I would have given it to a Sanchez. I thought Sanchez was brilliant yesterday. Davis as well played a really good game. Hugo Lloris saved us at times yesterday as well. But Harry Kane, I thought he's looking back at it, turning and shooting with his left foot. You're seeing all these attributes coming into his game again, which we grew accustomed to seeing a lot last season. We didn't see this under Nuno. We didn't see this for the beginning stages of the season, but we're starting to see the old Kane coming back now, aren't we?
We are. And then what I was saying yesterday as well is Harry Kane, if you look at him, this guy has put the ball in the side netting of the net more times than I've ever seen any striker do it. And one of his key attributes is he always shoots so quickly. He gets the ball out of his feet and he pulls the trigger. And I noticed last time when I was in England with you guys, he seemed to be taking that extra touch because his confidence was a little bit jaded and he was going through a bit mentally. He literally was doubting himself. But even yesterday, yes, he should have scored that goal. But you saw with the Southampton goal that was disallowed incorrectly, and then that one that just went wide, he's taking those shots early again. He's his commitment, passion, desire, body language, all on the up. Even from the Liverpool game with that tackle that people debate, should it be red, should it not? He wasn't making those tackles a few months ago. Yeah. He wasn't doing anything like that a few months ago. There is a considerable change in him. And I think come end of January and he's fully got under Conte's fitness regime and everything, he'll be unstoppable again.
Completely agree. And did yesterday just signify the lack of creative depth we have?
We've known that for a very, very long time. It's got to be addressed. It has to. Now, when I was doing the paper talk with Josh, Coutinho's name's come back up again. And in the paper reports, there was a little line that I thought, Levy will be interested now. Apparently, we can have him for a tenth of the price that Liverpool paid for him, or Barcelona paid. Yeah,
but can we have him for the tenth of the wages? He's on like 600 grand a week.
Yeah, it's insane. It's ridiculous wages. I would welcome him back to the Premier League because I think if we could just get a fraction of what he was like, he comes in, he knows this league, he knows the language. And he is a damn good player. He's lost his way. And if he can get back to 70, 80% of what he had at Liverpool, we've got the player we wanted on our hand.
Yeah. All right, well, you know what? We got the 3 points yesterday. We are now a point behind the scum, playing them next in the league, 2 games in hand. So let's see how it goes. Arsenal looked very good against Man City, so it worries me slightly. But surely we got them at the Lane.
Do you know what? I've been looking at obviously over the last few years, the North London derbies have got bigger and bigger and more competitive. And I wish I was there for the last one at the White Hart Lane, because that was the end of St Tottenham's Day, and it was that famous season.
That was a special day.
That exactly. But I think this one now, with Arsenal bang in form, us in form, the Conte factor, we need to put in a performance to get revenge on that horror show at the Emirates this last time. I think it's going to be a cracking game. The atmosphere is always cracking at that game. But yeah, I think we've got them at home.
All right, let's hope so, man. That is our match review.